Hey, sorry, I know we had a meeting yesterday, but I had another patient come in and he has autism and he's a retard and it's the whole thing. Anyway, not supposed to be telling you that, but okay, anyway, we are here to talk about your addiction, right? Well, say no more. But before we get into it, let's learn more about addiction, okay? For starters, addiction comes from a Latin word addicere. And addiction is a biopsychological disorder. It's when you engage to something compulsively despite the consequences. Now, before we go around and judge others, there's a reason why people get addicted, whether it's to something major like drugs and alcohol, or something minor like shopping and social media. So, why do we get addicted? Simple: dopamine, a chemical in the brain that acts as a neurotransmitter. It plays a role in how we feel pleasure, but not much to do with creating the feeling of pleasure. Now, it doesn't really matter how we can get addicted. What matters is we want to stop it. How? Well, let's get into it. Number one, admit you have a problem. This might seem ridiculous, but how are you going to learn from a mistake if you think you don't have any? When you admit you have a problem, you're letting yourself be aware of it and you start to reflect on it. This creates a healthy mindset to defeating addiction. How to know if you have addiction? When you're addicted to something, you lack self-control to stay away from that behavior. You're just like, what's the harm? A lot of people say, if you want to know if you're addicted, just go 1 week without it. But I'll tell you something. I want you to just go 1 day without it. 1 day. And if you have cravings, you have addiction. And I think nowadays, everyone is addicted to something, especially to social media, because technology has become a huge part of our lives. And without it, we just feel bored and empty. And I gotta admit, if I had to go 1 day without social media, I would have cravings. I could do it, but I'd have cravings. Number two, keep yourself busy. Always keep yourself busy. Find something to do, anything. Work out, exercise, shower, do what you're passionate about, I don't care. But never give yourself time and opportunity to do it. Because once you do, it's hard to get out of it. But if you do, I got you. Anytime you feel that craving, I want you to leave the room. I'm serious, leave the room. Give it time, be with someone else. Let's say you're addicted to smoking, and you're in your room, and your pack of cigarettes is just there, staring at you, and you're staring at it, and you guys start this whole staring contest. Leave the room, right? Be with someone. It's a lot easier to fight it when someone's around. Now, I don't care if you're addicted to shopping and you're in the mall. Leave the goddamn mall! Stupid. Socialize. Sometimes having people around isn't enough. You have to actually interact and socialize with friends and family. This is also another way you can keep yourself busy. Surrounding yourself with other people can remind you that you can be happy without doing that thing. You can live without it. Trust me. It sounds simple, but it's very effective. Have you ever told anyone about your problem? Because that is the next thing I want to talk about. Telling someone you trust. As awkward and hard this conversation may be, it's crucial to tell someone about your problem. If you ever want to overcome addiction, telling someone is key to that door. Now, of course, you have to trust that someone, because if word gets out, you feel ashamed, it's ugly, blah blah blah, it's a whole mess. So, find someone you can trust, have an honest conversation with them, and hopefully they understand you and give you support. Now you don't have to keep it all to yourself anymore, you can let it out. You don't have to carry all that stress and burden inside you anymore. Number 5, think about your loved ones. Before you go and do anything stupid, I want you to really think about the consequences of your actions. Are you gonna make your parents disappointed? Will you break someone's trust? Are you gonna get into trouble? Will you make people's lives hard? Really think about it. Is the trust and love from the people around you worth sacrificing for a short-term pleasure? Number 6, have self-respect. Addiction is bad, right? It's a bad habit. Otherwise, eating and showering is also addiction. Addiction is bad. Now, do you think people that respect themselves would do something that will harm themselves? You're basically saying, oh, I love myself, but I'm just gonna keep doing this because it feels good, even though it's gonna destroy my mind and body? No! Respect yourself, love yourself, do things that will benefit you, that's gonna build a better you. Know your worth, remind yourself. I'm sorry if you're going through a tough time, but I believe you can do this. You got this. Show your addiction who's the boss. Addiction. More like addiction. 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 And finally, learn more about your addiction. What I'm telling you right now may not be enough. So if you're serious about wanting to stop your addiction, you have to take it upon yourself to do something about it. Do some research, watch YouTube videos, find out the causes, the effects, the symptoms, the treatments. Listen about how other people battled their addiction, because the more you learn, the more you know, the easier you'll become. Look, whatever it is you're battling right now, I want you to know that I'm proud of you for trying, and that you're not the only one fighting. Okay? Learn from others. Alright, that's the end of our session. Today's fee is $200. You can either pay cash or just go ahead and like the video. Now, if you'll excuse me, my next patient is waiting.